Beloved class of 2024, we come together as community one last time, blessed by the presence of God and surrounded by the love and support of your family and friends and the Augustana community. Take a moment, and I mean this literally, to breathe it in. Today we name and help you claim all that you've accomplished. Today we also send you out into the world. We are completely filled with pride and gratitude for the accomplishments of this class. So let us now enter into the significance of this graduation ceremony, trusting that God is blessing every moment and readying you for the life that you will now live. Be filled with courage, class of 2024. Amen. You may be seated.
Measure me strong. I hereby open the 164th Annual Commencement Convocation with thanks to the musicians who helped bring our minds and hearts together. First, the Augustana Choir, led by Dr. John Hurdy, and also to the Augustana Symphonic Band, today led by Dr. Tony Oliver. And I should add that this is the 150th anniversary of the band's founding this year, so congratulations, band. Welcome all to this special day. To all the family and friends, faculty, staff, and trustees whose support, encouragement, and work have helped make this day possible. And welcome, most especially, to the people who are the reason we're here today. Congratulations to all today's graduates. Congratulations for all you have achieved over the last 4 years and the many ways in which you have grown, developed, and defined yourself. This is an exciting and hard-earned day. Welcome also to all the family and friends, faculty and staff who have made this day possible in one way or another. Welcome also to our speaker and her loved ones. First, let me introduce our stage party, and I ask that you hold your applause. I hope this is right. We're going to go in the back row from your left, my right, Dr. Brian Leach, Associate Professor, Department of History, and Chair-elect of the Faculty Council. Sherry Curran, General Counsel, Kent Barnes, Executive Vice President for Strategy and Innovation and Vice President for Enrollment and Communication, Dr. Gori Pitari, Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Dr. Michael Zemek, Professor of Music Education, representing the Arts and Communication Division, Dr. Lisa Durant, no, we're not right, are we? Oh, we are? Okay, good. Dr. Lisa Durant-Jones, former Interim Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at Augustana College and Faculty Emerita, Nazareth University. America Colmenares, Assistant Professor of Spanish, representing the Humanities Division. Dr. Austin Williamson, Associate Professor of Psychology, representing the Social Sciences Division. Viet Minh Boi, Student Speaker for the Class of 2024. Dr. Diana Shandy, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs. Dr. Jennifer Burnham, Professor of Geography, representing the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Division. The Reverend Melinda Papillo, Chaplain of the College. Kirk Anderson, Chief Financial Officer and Vice President of Administration. Dr. Wes Brooks, Vice President and Dean of Student Life. Dr. Cheryl True, Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees. Liesl Fowler, College Registrar. John Enslin, Vice President for College Advancement. Our flag bearers today are Genevieve Ryan, Class of 2026 from Rockford, Illinois, and Katie Ariano, Class of 2025 from Geneseo, Illinois. Our Registrar's Assistant is Jordan Stewart, Class of 2026 from Davenport, Iowa. Today is a day of great celebration. Today is also a day to think soberly about the world you are now meeting as a full-fledged adult. It's a world of unrest, division, and confrontation. It's also a world in which democracy, what many of us think is the bedrock of this nation and a beneficial trend for the world, is increasingly in decline. In a survey conducted earlier this year, a majority of randomly chosen citizens surveyed in 24 countries expressed dissatisfaction with how democracy is working in their own country. Although a majority still said democracy was a good system of government, the number rating it as very good had declined. Websites warning of a threat to democracy, not just in the United States but around the world, are easy to find. The Civica Alliance in Europe describes democracy in our era as volatile and declining in quality. At the same time, it argues that the potential for democratic reform is higher than ever. And that's why I raise this topic today, because I know that you, the Augustana graduates of 2024, are precisely the people to grapple with this conundrum. Almost 35 years ago, Samuel Huntington, a professor at Harvard, published a book titled The Third Wave: Democratization in the Late 20th Century, which described the rapid expansion of democracy in the last quarter of the 20th century. Between 1974 and 1990, at least 30 countries had transitioned to democracy, roughly doubling the number of democracies in the world. The number increased even more between the year Huntington's book was published, 1991, and the turn of the millennium in 2000. Huntington described the first wave as beginning in the 1820s, with the widening of suffrage in the United States and continuing until about 1926, producing 29 democracies in that time. A reverse wave briefly gripped the world over the period of the two world wars, reducing the number of democracies to 12 by 1942. But the aftermath of World War II saw a second great wave, driven primarily by decolonization, that peaked in the early 1960s and produced an additional 30 democracies worldwide by the 1970s. The third wave began in the 1970s, fueled by economic growth, the decline in legitimacy of authoritarian regimes, and the Catholic Church's increasing commitment to opposing authoritarianism. It gained strength at the tail end of the century as the end of the Cold War opened the potential for liberalizing transitions. Although scholars have continued to argue about Huntington's thesis and definitions, the essential concept of democratic waves has been reaffirmed numerous times, as has the continuing, if gradual, expansion of democracies worldwide into the 21st century. The wave concept is important because it means that democratic transitions tend to be clustered in space and time rather than occurring randomly. Unfortunately, based on Huntington's findings, reverse waves are similar. Even by 2000, a little before most of our graduates today were born, there was evidence that we might be entering a reverse wave, a trend that is easily confirmed today. Freedom House defined 2023 as the 18th consecutive year of decline in global freedom and estimates that only 20% of the world now lives in what are classified as free countries. This reverse wave has been long and consistent. Just as expanding economic prosperity once fueled democracy's expansion, rising inequality and economic stagnation now contribute to its decline. Societies are fracturing, even in traditionally stable countries. Economic crisis is a significant contributor to the decline of pluralism, which Freedom House defines as the peaceful coexistence of people with different political ideas, religions, or ethnic identities, and identifies as the largest cause for democracy's ebbing strength and appeal. As recently as 2005, Freedom House described the world as becoming consistently more free, with just over 80 countries that year improving their level of freedom. But the trend since has been all negative, with freedom declining in 55 countries in 2023 and improving in only 20. The topic of how democracy rises and falls, not only around the globe, but in the United States, should interest you because this is the primary question that your adult years are likely to engage in one way or another. In the United States, we've taken the solidity of our democracy for granted, believing that the commitment to our Constitution and rule of law will ensure sustainability. Yet we see almost daily how the questions that animated the creation of the Constitution remain deeply contested today, 235 years later. Combined with economic challenge and overall uncertainty, they can push us away from democratic behaviors as surely as we were once pushed toward them. Since the earliest days of our nation, before it was even a republic, we've grappled with the question of how to give government enough authority while not giving it too much. Our earliest attempt at government, the Articles of Confederation, failed in that regard by making the central government too weak, so that the new country was composed of states that were not united and could manage their affairs in ways that were detrimental to other states. But over time, democracy evolved in the United States to create a more centralized system that balanced the needs of the individuals and the corporations and the government among them. Different parts of American democracy have evolved. The expansion of voting rights is one example. Rules that prevent monopoly and establish regulations that limit corruption in every area from corporations to transportation to business practices are another. Landmark Supreme Court cases on topics such as civil rights, disability access, education, and the rights of accused are yet another. In all cases, we have tended to assume that the natural trend is to become more democratic, more open, more just, and more equitable. But the earliest articulations of political philosophy did not see democracy as a natural good or a positive path of evolution. In the ancient Greek world, where democracy was born, two of the most seminal political philosophers, Plato and Aristotle, believed democracy was fundamentally flawed and even, in Aristotle's view, a deviant form of more desirable systems. Although they recognized the potential benefits of democratic rule, they also viewed it as potentially dangerous. For Aristotle, the major problem with democracy was that it could too easily neglect community and commitment to serving the common good. While he clearly believed that the mass of citizens should have the right to rule a political entity, he also believed that the mass would pursue its own interests to the detriment of the whole. He feared the tyranny of the majority, particularly a majority without a strong public interest. Aristotle raised the central question that we still struggle with, the issue of whether justness of rule resides in the system that produces it or the substantive elements it contains. Plato similarly had little faith in democracy because he believed it provided excessive freedom and catered too much to individual interests, which would likely lead either to anarchy or the rise of tyrants and demagogues. He warned that democracy would lead to ineffective and selfish leaders who were expert at catering to popular opinion, but not at leading a nation, a criticism we may recognize today. And while Plato believed perhaps too much in the value of experts, he argued that effective leadership required both broad knowledge and particular understanding of the workings and needs of a polity, and for that reason, he viewed democracy as dangerous. He did not trust that enough people had those skills, and he had doubted the ability of leaders to lead well. The concerns of both philosophers recall Alexis de Tocqueville's statement in his book, Democracy in America, quote, "Nothing is more wonderful than the art of being free, but nothing is harder to learn how to use than freedom." This is the complex world you are entering as Augustana graduates, a world that is uncertain about and frustrated by the progress of democracy, a world in which many countries, not just our own, are questioning their social, economic, and political foundations and looking with trepidation at the accelerating impact of technology. It is also a world that you are more than ready for, and I, for one, am glad that you are the people who will take the lead over the next decades in addressing all these challenges. You have shown over the last 4 years not only the traits that we always expect from Augustana Vikings, a willingness to think deeply and carefully about issues, the curiosity to look beyond the easy answers, a sensitivity to those whose experience is different from your own, and a desire to embrace different perspectives to build better solutions, but you have also shown repeatedly a commitment to work with and for others. Your parents will be happy to know that these are exactly the skills that employers seek, which is why I have faith in our future. Because as you step into your new roles, you will shape that future. I will also note that these are the habits that Aristotle and Plato most feared were lacking in citizens. Aristotle feared groupthink, and Plato feared lack of ability. You are living proof that neither need be decisive in the progress of global democracy, because you are not only committed to the good of the whole, but you also bring the expertise and depth of thinking that's needed to lead well. At the same time, you will be tested. As you already know, the pressures to endorse a particular view, to conform to a party line, to reduce complexity to the sharpest shades of black and white are immense. You will need to continually orient those around you to accepting complexity when they crave simplicity. The difficult questions that we face today will not fade away. Whether considering the evolution of democracy or the most vexing questions of climate change, you will be faced constantly with the need to determine what you believe and why. Do not shy away from that. Eleanor Roosevelt said, quote, "When you have decided what you believe, what you feel must be done, have the courage to stand alone and be counted. Know that your expertise and your commitment to community and your leadership are essential for the success of democracy and are needed now more than ever. Pauli Murray, an activist, writer, attorney, and eventual Episcopal priest, once marked that their personal quest for equality was never successful, but that, quote, "I have lived to see the thesis that I was operating upon vindicated." Born in 1910, they were arrested 15 years before Rosa Parks for refusing to give up their seat on a segregated bus. They were denied admission to the University of North Carolina Law School because of their race. They were rejected from Harvard because of their gender. So Murray went to Howard. They wrote a book, States' Laws on Race and Color, that Thurgood Marshall used in preparing to argue Brown versus Board of Education at the Supreme Court. Eventually, they became the first Black Deputy Attorney General of the state of California, the first Black person to earn a JSD, Doctor of Juridical Science at Yale University, and were appointed by President John F. Kennedy to the Presidential Commission on the Status of Women. Like Pauli Murray, not every effort you undertake will be successful. But know when it isn't that you are laying the groundwork for others to take up the cause, whatever it may be. Pauli Murray stood, sometimes alone, and they counted. Even when their efforts failed, they remained a tireless advocate for racial, gender, and what we now recognize as LGBTQ rights. They said, quote, "Hope is a song in a weary throat, and I encourage you to contribute to that song, no matter how weary your own throat may be, because your excellence will inspire others." You know several things from your time at Augustana. First, that commitment to community makes us better. It may make solutions more complex. It may slow how we approach a problem. But envisioning how we can contribute to others is the backbone of a Lutheran education and the centerpiece of much that you have done here. Do not forget that. Second, that a strong community is composed of a variety of views and experiences, some of which are easy for us to understand and some of which are not. But the combination of the whole brings better ideas and better initiatives, so our commitment must be to embrace the unfamiliar and the different. And third, you know that the answers that count most are never easy. If it seems simple, then your answer is probably simplistic and not worthy of the problem. If the basic questions of democratic governance were easy, we would not have needed to debate them over thousands of years. We stand globally at a historic moment. Do we continue to slide backwards, focused on recrimination, division, and insularity, or do we move forward to revive the push for greater equality, greater freedoms, better societies? One thing is clear: citizens matter. You matter. Each wave of democratization has been characterized by citizens stepping up to demand more and better and holding their governments to account. Each reverse wave has been characterized by governments exerting increasing power at the expense of citizens, and citizens, in turn, both promoting and accepting that shift. Congratulations, Augustana graduates of 2024. You have, hold on. Fair enough. I think that's a sign they want me to shut up. I'm done. But you have done great things on our campus. As you leave campus, remember this: 18 years of declining democracy is enough. Use your freedom wisely. The fourth wave of democratization is yours as long as you stand to be counted. Thank you. All right, now, at this time, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our student speaker, who is an engineering, physics, and computer science major from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Representing the class of 2024, please welcome Viet Minh Bui.
Good afternoon and congratulations to the class of 2024. We went through a lot of changes and look at all of us now, wearing cap and gowns and ready to transition to different paths in our life. Before I begin, I would like to thank everyone for making this possible for all of us in the arena today. And thank you, President Talentino, for giving me the opportunity to be on this stage and giving this speech. I would never imagine, as an engineering physics and a computer science student, the two notorious majors offer me the comfort of staying behind the scene. That now, I will go through the process of writing, readings, and publicly speaking. This blew me away from my own default settings of anxiety to a whole new level. But I'm beyond to be honored to represent my fellow friends and all of the experience that we share at Augustana. Since I've been to the last two commencement, I'm going to make a little difference. I would love to talk about 3 connected stories that tie my human-to-human connections. 3 keywords: first year, CA, and J terms. Starting with the first year, we all know that it was the critical moment to make new friends in new environments. We went around, found friends, and slowly that group of friends compact into the few people that we truly connected with. However, our class did not have it easy. Our first challenge was to navigate the sensitive boundary between getting too close, to follow all of the rules, and somehow still be able to connect with people. I'm sure you have been through all of that, from the international students to the domestic students, to all of our commuter friends. From my first year hall to classroom, I have made friends for life, and I still remember one of them I made at the back of the class, who I talked to so much that one of our professors had to stop us. Sorry, Professor Mueller, I know you're here. The experience at Augustana at the beginning was not without adversity, but it created a good attachment to this college in every single corner I came across. Friends' connection never stopped from first year. Even when I became a CA during my sophomore, for the families today, if you don't know, a CA is a community advisor at residential hall. I thought it would be hard for me to stay connected with my friends, but I was still able to make even more friends from my floor who were my residents. Who would know that creating a website for the floor would enable me to meet such amazing friends beyond my classroom and beyond my own class years. Finally, the J-term experience that truly changed my life is the Holden Village trip. With the most wholesome group of old and new friends, I originally went to the trip with a friends and with no intention of getting to attach with anyone, because I just want to be alone and hike in a mountain. But the community beside the gorgeous wildlife taught me so much of value of connections that turned into a very long-lasting connections. And I'm sure most of you had Augustana experience far away from campus that gave you the memories and connection that will stay with you forever. Being extremely far away from homes came with challenges, but these bonding moments, no matter how small and short it can be, have made my life and my experience at Augustana extremely valuable. Even more than the achievement in leadership opportunities on campus. This class may have not had the ideal college experience, but at what benchmark? We went beyond and create the best out of the worst, and that the best is the human-to-human connections. Don't be afraid that you will be in a new environment after college. Keep going with that momentum that we have made it here. And I still have to remind myself about that. I want to thank my parents who could not be here today. I want to let you know through the small screen, Mom and Dad, that I'm doing very well. I know you've been worried. I know you have been worried throughout my 6 years and counting in the US, starting with my host family in the Pacific Northwest, and now with my Augustana family here in Illinois, Thank you so much for letting me fly far, literally, and live and study in a whole different country. Thank you to my host families that introduced me to the culture and language. And you were my first home far away. Thank you to my friends and faculties for making the past 4 years a changing experience. A friend and I even went on a bike ride last summer with a professor. It was the longest and the most physically enduring ride, but it was worth every second of my life because we were not doing it alone. We were doing it with someone. I did not know about Augustana until one of the alumni visited my school in Oregon. But you have become a hub of memories that I will never forget. Augie, you will always have a place in my heart. Class of 2024, I want the best for all of you. But remember to do good deeds in this world and know that you have a place in it. Let's stop for a moment and look around. And then remember the connection that you have made and treasure them. Congratulations, Augie, we earned it.
Thank you again to the Symphonic Band. And now, to introduce our commencement speaker, I call forward Dr. Austin Williamson, Associate Professor of Psychology.
I have the honor to introduce our commencement speaker, Dr. Lisa Durant-Jones. For those of you who don't know her story, Lisa joined our Augustana community this past fall as our interim Vice President of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion after retiring from a similar position in Nazareth University in 2022. She had taught there and served in various administrative roles since 1996. Lisa, I'm trying to picture your conversations with your friends about what your retirement might be like. Something like, I think I'll try to relax more, spend some more time with my family, go be interim vice president of a college halfway across the country. I first met Lisa when she helped with our new faculty orientation this past fall. And I was struck immediately by her kindness and her humility, blended with this extraordinary passion for our diverse Augustana community that helped our faculty member feel comfortable expressing their uncertainties and their challenges with her. This class of 2024 is a wonderful testament to the diversity of life experiences and identities and backgrounds of our Augustana community. And we simply cannot meet the needs of all of our students or actualize their incredibly unique strengths without strong leadership from people like Lisa. Lisa, your stay with us was brief, but I hope that you will remember us with the fondness that we will remember you.
Wow, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, President Talentino, members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished faculty, staff, family, and friends, and of course, the class of 2024. You did it. It is such an honor to be back here at Augustana College and a true privilege to serve as this year's commencement speaker. I am humbled as I stand here before you, and I thank you in advance for this privilege. As a speech-language pathologist, communication specialist, and educator, I've done a fair share of public speaking at conferences and other presentations, but I have to acknowledge this is my first college-level commencement speech. I never envisioned this Schenectady, New York native, transplanted to Rochester, New York, and now residing in Southern California, would be speaking here to all of you at the vibrant arena in Moline, Illinois, but I'm so happy to be here. I have attended dozens of commencements over my almost 30 years in higher education. Some I recall simply because of the prominence of the speaker. But research suggests most of us do not fully recall our own commencement speakers. That's attributed to the fact that there's so many other things top of mind. When I think back to when I graduated, year undisclosed, I was sitting at my college commencement, and to be honest, I really only have the vaguest of memories. I suspect what was top of mind for me was memorizing the instructions for those diploma handoff, where to pose for the official photos, or how to navigate the ramp with the cute shoes I chose to wear. However, the tradition of the commencement speech is firmly grounded in today's events, and its purpose is to offer inspiration and hopefully some words of wisdom. Class of 2024, you are a diverse and accomplished group. The term diverse has recently been the subject of some contention, but to me, there's such tremendous power in acknowledging diversity because it recognizes the unique gifts, talents, experiences, and histories that a group of individuals can bring to an institution. The beauty of diversity can be witnessed here today. Here are a few statistics. Within this class of 500 plus, 16% of you are first generation. 10% of you are international students. 21% of you identify as coming from a racial or ethnically diverse background. What an incredible tribute to all the families here who have sacrificed in order for you to earn a college degree. Diversity is also alive and well in the experiences you have chosen during the past 4 years. Of note, many of those experiences were suspended or altered significantly during your first year on campus. Yet, 53% of you completed internships, 29% of you studied abroad, and 30% of you participated in Greek life. Another 43% of you participated in athletics. While I do not have the percentages of those who engaged in substantial leadership opportunities or actively participated in student-led organizations, I know it's an impressive number, and you know who you are. I am overwhelmed by your accomplishments and determination that you put forth to reach this important milestone during what can be best described as arduous times. As we sit here today in celebration, let us not forget those who are suffering and are in need of our prayer. In this highly technical world, much of our time is spent engaging with others through gizmos, gadgets, devices, and what we would describe as less than robust personal interactions. So graduates, indulge me for just a minute. On the count of 3, I ask that each of you graduates turn to a person or persons next to you and offer them some personal congratulations for reaching this point in their adult journey. It can be a fist pump, a high five, or another kind gesture that reinforces the interpersonal connectiveness of this moment. So don't let me down. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. In preparing for my comments today, I did some research. I wondered who in the past has been credited with giving a great or at least memorable commencement speech. And what was it about their speech that was so notable? So in the true researcher mode, I asked Siri. Here's what I learned. Commencement speakers who make the best commencement speech list include such notables as Steve Jobs, specifically his 2005 speech at Stanford University. It's been viewed over 40 million times on YouTube, and as you can imagine, his speech was visionary. And as we sit here today, most, if not all of us, have been impacted by his vision as we carry our iPhones around. I dare say some of you are probably glancing at your iPhones right now. Oprah Winfrey in 2013 spoke at Harvard University. It was described as motivational, inspirational, and at times political. However, it's Oprah, and she's a true icon. Chiamande Ngozi Adichie, the Nigerian-born novelist, spoke at Wesleyan College in 2015. She often speaks about the human condition through nonfiction and riveting fictional stories. Many of you students may be familiar with, and faculty, may be familiar with her famous TED Talk, The Danger of a Single Story. Will Ferrell spoke to USC in 2017, and as you would expect, he used humor to deliver a heartfelt message of accomplishment to those graduates. At times, it was self-deprecating, but boy, was it funny. Chadwick Boseman at Howard University in 2018, his speech emphasized the importance of being able to speak up for yourselves and others and finding purpose. More recently, Taylor Swift spoke at NYU in 2022. I mean, she's Taylor Swift, so the message may have been less important than her presence. Queen Bee, AKA Beyonce, AKA Cowboy Carter, virtual speech was broadcast across the country when colleges and universities' commencements went remote. Some of you students may have, or graduates may have viewed it since it was widely accessible. Beyonce's focus at the time was on the importance on betting on yourself, investing in yourself. I think that has worked out pretty well for her. I know there's other names that will come to mind depending on your preferences, and as such, no one list is exhaustive. If I was in my teaching mode, I would have us use our cell phones to create a word cloud, which is a visual representation of the most frequently appearing names. It would be interesting to see the various names that all of you would submit. While name dropping such prominent personalities has caused me great angst, since you have me and not them standing here before you, looking at the past assisted me in crafting my remarks today. I learned, aside from the universal recognition of this great honor, I should keep my remarks short and share a message that speaks to the essence of the class of 24. So my purpose today is to celebrate you graduates, to acknowledge you graduates, and encourage you to use these past 4 years to propel you to your next phase of success, whatever that looks like for you. Graduates, my theme today is resilience. Now, please don't tune out yet. I want you to know how important resilience is to the past and future success. The American Psychological Association defines resilience as the process and outcome of successfully adapting to difficult or challenging life experiences as a result of adversity, trauma, heightened risks, and significant stress. While we can think about resiliency as the ability to bounce back, it can also have a profound effect on our personal growth. The APA goes on to say that resiliency requires behavioral flexibility and adjustment, both to external and internal demands. I believe we can all agree that living through the pandemic qualifies as a challenging life experience and required a significant degree of flexibility and adjustment. The APA speculates that how we adapt and bounce back is linked to the way that we view and engage the world, the availability of quality social resources, and the development of specific coping strategies. However, during challenging times, we rarely stop and contemplate, what did we tap into? What did we lean into to help us adapt? For many of us, the goal is to get through. And for you, graduates, it was to get to graduation. But the very fact that you're here is a testament to your resilience. Unlike any other graduating classes in recent memory, you ended your senior year at the height of the pandemic and were denied some of the very traditions that make lifelong memories. You started your first semester of college under some of the most restricted conditions. It was an unprecedented time that required all of us to rethink, how do we navigate our life from the smallest to the most major life events? Although we have now rebounded to a new normal, we were faced with so much uncertainty when you arrived on campus in the fall of 2020. You may have forgotten how adaptable you had to be your first semester of college. It may seem like a distant memory, but it did have a significant impact on campus life. I know for those of us in administrative roles, there was no pre-existing roadmap, only the mandates set forth by the state. Masks were required in shared spaces, both inside and out. Classrooms and labs were that were held in person had to be separated by 6 feet between desks and working space. Class sizes were capped at smaller numbers. Some classes, faculty, I hope you're okay, because I know this was all the angst we all went through. Some classes that had been offered traditionally in person were moved to a remote format or a hybrid format. Voluntary surveillance testing and contact tracing were required. Plexiglass barriers appeared up across campus, allowing for interpersonal but protected space. Students had to check their temperatures daily with an campus app, and the list goes on. To ensure the safety of the campus community to the greatest extent possible, these were necessary measures. While Augustana did a tremendous job and ensuring the safety and reinforcing safe behaviors of its students and community, it was still an unprecedented time that required the due diligence of everyone. We also must recognize that there may have been challenges you graduates faced beyond your college experience. In preparing for today's remarks, I thought of some challenging periods in my life, and there was none more challenging than the loss of unexpected family members many, many years ago. Two of my siblings, Connie at the age of 32 and Greg at the age of 28, sudden deaths came exactly a year and a day apart. They were vibrant, so giving with exciting futures. You can never be prepared for that kind of loss. Some of you experienced the same unbearable loss during the pandemic, whether it was family or maybe a close family friend. During that time, you needed the resolve to forge ahead when the natural tendency may have been to allow the grief to consume you. But as Maya Angelou says in her famous book, I Know Why the Caged Birds Sing, quote, in the face of sudden death loss, grief may seem insurmountable, but through love and strength, we can arise above the darkness, end quote. My friends, that's resilience. Not everyone who began the college journey with you in 2020 was able to adapt as well as you were. And as a result, they found themselves on a different path, either by choice or by default. There have been a number of articles and commentaries this past spring about what has been coined the pandemic graduates. I don't like that term, and that's what's being used. But I do like what R. Bruce Anderson, an associate professor in political science and journalist, has offered. While not empirically studied, he believes you graduates are tough, tested, and ready for the new world. I like that characterization. Anderson asserts that when you entered college, it became havens of learning, of shared responsibility and collaboration. Not only did you lift yourself up, but those around you. Graduates, your college success was clearly tied to your ability to adapt and how you engaged in an evolving world where data points and predictions changed daily. As you sit here today, getting ready to walk this stage, think about those social resources, those supports, scaffolds of such, that guided you during the 2020-21 year and beyond, as we begin to continue and wrap our heads around the new normal. Some of you may be familiar with a symbol called the Sankofa. The actual symbol is a mythical bird with its head turned backwards, reaching for a golden egg, while its feet and its body are veering forward. The Sankofa is a principle from Ghana, and it advises that one should remember the past to make positive progress in the future. In essence, the meaning behind the Sankofa is that we must retrieve and learn about our history in order to better know self, the world, and how to make a difference moving forward. I would posit that as you move forward to your next journey, whether it's graduate school, work, or other adventures, you sit, you reflect on those experiences that you tapped into, and use that as you move forward. Graduates, you are ultimately responsible for your success, and please don't underestimate the grit that it took for you to be here today. So here are my final words, and it's a quote from Sheryl Sandberg, writer, philanthropist, and former Facebook COO. Quote, you were not born with a fixed amount of resilience. Like a muscle, you can build it up, draw on it when you need it, and in that process, figure out who you really are. You might just become the best version of yourself, end quote. Class of 2024, you worked that resilience muscles these past 4 years, and boy, has it been built up. You have a lifetime to mobilize it when you need it. And like the Sankofa, look to your past to gather wisdom and strength, so you know when you're faced with challenges, you know you have the tools to figure a path forward and succeed. Graduates, we applaud you, we see you, we celebrate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Durant-Jones. I will now ask America Colmenares to come to the podium to present the candidate for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, Dr. Lisa Durant-Jones.
Good afternoon, President Talentino. I rise to present Lisa Durant-Jones as the candidate for degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. In recognition of her long storied career in higher education, Dr. Durant-Jones has been a leader both as an administrator and as a faculty member, serving both as a teacher and a practitioner of speech-language pathology. A constant in all this pursuit has been her passion for improving communication across difficulty, whether in helping a child more clearly express herself, teaching the future practitioners how to best to diagnose barriers, or in helping communities to find areas of both distinctiveness and commonality through equity, inclusion, and belonging. Further, her willingness to interrupt her hard-earned retirement in order to assist Augustana College in its ongoing work creating a healthier community that thrives because of its diversity. Most importantly, because Augustana is a healthier place thanks to her engagement with us, it is my pleasure to present, upon recommendation of the faculty, Lisa Durant-Jones for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Augustana College, I confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters with all the rights and privileges thereto appertaining. Congratulations, Dr. Lisa Durant-Jones. I now invite Provost Diana Shandy to come forward to recognize those members of the faculty present today who are retiring.
Now we are. All right, there we go. We've got amplification. Thank you, President Talentino. The mission of Augustana College directs us to offer students a challenging education that develops the qualities necessary to pursue callings of leadership and service in this diverse and changing world. It is, of course, the faculty of Augustana College who are the primary mediators and instigators of this mission. In speaking to alumni now in their 70s and 80s, it's remarkable to hear their clear memories of our amazing professors from their own student days. In that long tradition of exemplary service, I'd like to thank those who this year retire from the faculty to start new chapters in their own callings of leadership and service. Among them are Imran Faruqi, professional faculty in business administration and economics, and Dr. Susan Stone, professor of music. I ask them to stand to be recognized.
And let me add my thanks as well, and also the thanks on behalf of the students, alumni, and trustees of Augustana College for your extraordinary careers. Now we're going to take a little bit of a minute so that the seniors in the band can get back. Maybe they're already in their spot. Our class speaker, is he already in his spot? Okay, we'll let him get back to his spot because we're going to move on to what everybody is really excited about here. I think the choir people are already back, right? So everybody take a picture for a minute or something. Say hello to your neighbor. There we go. I like that. All right. I think we're pretty good. All righty. Now, Provost Shandy will now present the Augustana class of 2024 candidates for the baccalaureate degree.
Will the Augustana College class of 2024 please rise? Madam President, on behalf of the faculty, I wish to recommend the conferring of the degree of Bachelor of Arts on these candidates upon completion of the requirements.
Upon recommendation of the faculty, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the state of Illinois and the Board of Trustees, and subject to your completion of the requirements, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all the privileges, rights, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
You may be seated. Will members of the class of 2024 please present themselves as their names are called? Caleb Hamza Abu Baker. Bethany Faith Abrams, summa cum laude. Bridget Lee Ann Adamiak. Eric John Adams, Jr. Brecken Grace Adamson, magna cum laude. Aaron Johannes Afwerk. Leslie Aguilar. Phoenix Karina Ajipong. Miguel Angel Afaro. Kenaya Kennedy Allen. Samuel Timothy Allen, magna cum laude. Emily Margaret Allison, cum laude. Alexandra Marie Amaker, cum laude. Barry Joseph Amiano II. Alexis Briley Anderson, magna cum laude. Lauren Elizabeth Anderson, summa cum laude. Lily Mae Anderson, magna cum laude. Noah Roderick Anderson, magna cum laude. Francesca Juliana Andre. Nora Margaret Ansberg, cum laude. Ray Aoki, summa cum laude. Michael Anthony Aragon, cum laude. Ariana Marie Augustine, magna cum laude. Amelise Paris Louise Bear Ross, cum laude. Frank Robert Bayo, magna cum laude. Kennedy May Scott Baldwin, summa cum laude. Leslie Aaron Bandera, magna cum laude. Luca James Barba, magna cum laude. Brooke Davy Barlow. Mark Daniel Barron. Molly Claire Bath, summa cum laude. Jack Beachy, cum laude. Lauren Elizabeth Beck, cum laude. Amain Kasahun Bekele, cum laude. Brooklyn E. Bensavini. Julia Elizabeth Benfeld. Adam Benderitis. Carson Mackenzie Bennett, magna cum laude. Brianna Rose Burnt. Victoria Rose Bernero, magna cum laude. Genevieve Elizabeth Berryman, cum laude. Marshall John Beverly. Cole Ethan Bardwaj. Matthias Emilio Bidegaray, cum laude. Morgan Elizabeth Biefeld, cum laude. Ryan Samuel Bingham. Chase Scott Binkley. Matthew Benjamin Bjork, cum laude. Rachel Nicole Blankenship. Olivia Rose Blood, cum laude. Anna Catherine Boardman. Danielle Nicole Bornstein. Harrison Asher Boschel. Jack David Brandt, cum laude. Paige Andrea Breslin. Brenson Robert Brown. Jake Michael Broomba. Claudia Ann Buchholz, cum laude. Xavier Buckley. Fun Min Bui, cum laude. Viet Min Bui, magna cum laude. Travis Bush. Blaine Buticho, magna cum laude. Meredith Ann Butler, cum laude. Derek Charles Butts, magna cum laude. Ashley Camacho, cum laude. Caitlin Grace Campbell, summa cum laude. Kyle James Campbell. Abigail Marie Campisi. Bailey Elizabeth Kappen, cum laude. James Christopher Caprio. Grace Lauren Carlson, cum laude. Portia Rose Carrera. Presley Marie Case, cum laude. Fernando Castañeda. Janie Ray Casto, cum laude. Brianna Elizabeth Castro, cum laude. Nicholas Castro, cum laude. Huline Sophia Chan Joyner, summa cum laude. Ashanti Chapman. Manuela Chavez. Dean Thomas Check. Caitlin Rose Chavola, cum laude. Katerina Elizabeth Clark, magna cum laude. Braden Joseph Clements, magna cum laude. Andrew Joel Cochran, summa cum laude. Caleb Austin Connard. Elizabeth Elaine Considine, cum laude. Maya Simone Conway. Luke Austin Cowan, summa cum laude. Michaela Danielle Crady. Santiago Cuevas. Catherine Louise Cummings. Allie Jean Curley. Erica Dahlstrand, summa cum laude. Vincenzo Delano. Isaac Christopher Daniels. Dao Trun Kien. Iomide Mary David. Brett Charles David, magna cum laude. Tamara Day. Casey Rebecca de la Cruz. Adriana Gilda De Chico, magna cum laude. Makaya Delancey Decker, cum laude. Lane Marie Degnan, magna cum laude. Matthew Dennis Degnan. Alessandra Vanessa Dennis. Caitlin Joe Dennis, cum laude. Mark William Dennison. Olivia Renee DeVore, cum laude. Aubrey DeWald, cum laude. Man Xian Dim. Zachary Michael Dinkle, magna cum laude. Dayan Jenadich. Jason Matthew Donahue. Andrew Ryan Douglas, cum laude. Ella Lee Douglas, cum laude. Sophie Helene Duvris, cum laude. Jennifer Marie Dunder, magna cum laude. Austin Aberly Early, cum laude. Brianna Marie Ebenroth, summa cum laude. Christopher Eckerd. Miriam Elamadi, summa cum laude. Aiden Reese Ellinger. Nicole Marie Ellis. Mauricio Michael Escaria, cum laude. Tyler Keith Estes, magna cum laude. Lucas Fano, summa cum laude. Shazil Farhan, summa cum laude. LaQuisha Shantae Farley. Madeleine LeBlanc Feltner, cum laude. Faven Tadali Faranda, cum laude. William Thomas Fern, Jr. Alexander Louis Faruza. Brooke Marie Fieldman, summa cum laude. Chloe Rose Fisher, magna cum laude. John Patrick Flannery, summa cum laude. Carter Fote. Austin Jacob Ford.
Good boy, Austin.
Daniel Frederick Ford. Caitlin McKenzie Forehand, summa cum laude. Caden Griffin Folk. Jackson Fowler. Hunter M. Fry. Avery Elizabeth Frick, cum laude. Rachel Galuzzo, summa cum laude. Molly Claire Garrison. Kira Elizabeth Garza, cum laude. Genevieve Carlene Garing Gervais. Devin Arnold Gephardt, cum laude. Anthony Joseph Geraci. Carson Allen Heiss, magna cum laude. Anne Gill, cum laude. Ruth Tuweldebihan Gurma, magna cum laude. Nema Gonzalez. Ian Gorkin. Leandra Schuyler Gottschalk, cum laude. Elijah Aaron Gracer, cum laude. Amanda Nicole Gravel, summa cum laude. Jason Matthew Grimes. Julia Grum, cum laude. Elena Louise Hafner, summa cum laude. Harry Mesfin Hailey Mescal, summa cum laude. Jenna Nicole Hale, cum laude. Claire Hall, cum laude. Thomas Raymond Hall. Hussam Halouche. Ailish Hannon. Logan David Hansen. Caitlin Jessica Hanilikova, cum laude. Nicholas Hanusiak. Lillian Anita Hart, cum laude. Liam M. Haskell. Jayla Hawthorne, magna cum laude. Caitlin Faith Hattelstad, cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth Heiser. Raymond Gray Hurd. John William Hibbler. Andrew Everett Hypes, cum laude. Lin Ha Huang, cum laude. Colin Oliver Hogan, cum laude. Abigail Ann Holton. Joanna Horn. Zachary Nelson Horv, summa cum laude. Liam Michael Hosak. Michael Alden Hudson. Jack David Hughes, cum laude. Raymond Weaver Hughes. McKenna Grace Hewlett, summa cum laude. Gage Allen Humphreys. Ruckus Hunkins, cum laude. Margaret Lauren Huntley. John Patrick Jude Hutton, cum laude. Ricardo Gabriel Iniguez. Will A. Jackman, cum laude. Faith Margaret Jackson, cum laude. Hope Marie Jackson. Ilias Jamil. Katie Jean Janis. Zachary Richard Janicki. Galila Gelgelo Jarso. Emily Jenkins. Linnea Grace Johansson, summa cum laude. Kane Rashad Johnson. Hannah Eileen Johnson, summa cum laude. Jade Linnaean Johnson. Maxwell J. Johnson, cum laude. Ramaya Havila Johnson. Ryan Christopher Jones, cum laude. Anjul Deshawn Joyner. Jaden Renee Julius. Jack David Kazmarek. Marley Emma Kaforsky. Dimitri Kanalakis, cum magna cum laude. Celine Marie Kapolnik, magna cum laude. Anna Olivia Karch, summa cum laude. Lamrot Azrat Kebede. Utah Keener, cum laude. Matthew Ray Kessler. Mir Kadka, cum laude. Emma Kidane. Jacqueline Grace Kirmis, cum laude. Sarah Wright Kingston. Rose Elaine Klinger. Eleanor Klink, magna cum laude. Benjamin Ryan Clucky. Tyler Knuth. Michaela Jordan Keppen, cum laude. Jackson McCain Kogut. Thomas Wayne Copeman. Justin Randall Corniss. Margaret O'Malley Katowski, cum laude. John Richard Kovarick, cum laude. Sydney Catherine Kruger. Constance Rose Krupka. Megan Elizabeth Kukulka. Emily Marie Kulak, cum laude. Jillian French Kunkel. Brett Michael Curis, cum laude. Madeline Eileen Kusar, summa cum laude. Miles Joseph Laughley, cum laude. April Alexis Lambert, magna cum laude. Narita Ann Lambert. Taylor Jane Marie Lang. Addison Blair Larson, magna cum laude. Mackenzie Taylor Liskowski, cum laude. Maria Fernando Lavanderos. Ni Yewan Le. Antonio Torrell Lebron. Junsu Lee, cum laude. Emma Marie Lagree, cum laude. Melinda Ann Lewandowski, magna cum laude. Maya Angela Lewis. Nanza Lee. Jeo Beek Lien, cum laude. Mackenzie Elena Lieferman. Aaron Michael Lopez. Connor James Lopez. Samuel A. Loversky. Marky Janae Lowe, magna cum laude. Lu Ha Phuong, magna cum laude. Bryce A. Lucky. Mukupa Musonda Lungu, cum laude. Lindsay Malouf. Alyssa Ann Macias, cum laude. Christine Lee Mack. James M. Macklin. Catherine May Madiol, magna cum laude. Norika Maeda. Kobe James McGee, cum laude. Gustav Christopher Magnuson. Americas Mahatshahi, cum laude. Thank you. Savonia Marthru, cum laude. Megan Elizabeth Markowitz, cum laude. Emily Ann Martin, cum laude. Giovanni Martinelli. Karina Isabel Martinez, summa cum laude. Fabian Martinez. Audrey Nicole Marks, cum laude. Ashlyn Noel Mathers, cum laude. Connor Michael McBride, summa cum laude. John Francis McCurdy III. Joseph John McDonough. Alex James McGinnis, magna cum laude. Pooja Elizabeth Johns Mayer. Colin Michael Mendoza. Oliver M. Mikulak, cum laude. Emily K. Miller. Jason Lucas Miller, magna cum laude. Kelsey Marie Miller, cum laude. Patrick Miller. Sydney Lucille Miller. Auel Zaudu Moinhode, magna cum laude. Grace Elizabeth Malloy, cum laude. Via Grace Montgomery. Trevor Jack Richard Moore. Bernard Joseph Morgano. Joseph David Morris. Erin Elizabeth Morsi, cum laude. Madison Ann Morrow. Khalil Perian Mosley. Samfro Taye Mulugeta. Takahumi Murakami. William Emilio Murillo. Rachel Matanda Nandalenga, cum laude. Arslan Shahid Nasir. Luis Navarrete, cum laude. Lee Nguyen. Michael William Nini. Samantha Elaine Novak, cum laude. Christina Marie O'Connell, summa cum laude. Esme Isabella O'Rourke, cum laude. Jorge Garcia Ocampo. Alec Mitchell O'Garrick. Erica Ojeda. Allison Catherine Olenek, cum laude. Blake Raymond Oliver, magna cum laude. Celicia Elizabeth Louise Olvera. Cecilia Ortega. Alexis Angelica Ose Kofi. Kayla Sky Palliser, summa cum laude. Michaela F. Palm. Sophia Elizabeth Parent, cum laude. Clemencia Tamaro Patino. Roger D. Pavey, Jr. Lawrence Walter Pavlik. Logan James Pierce, summa cum laude. Devin Pearson, cum laude. Olivia Caitlin Peniston, cum laude. Donald Frederick Peters IV. Jessica Marion Peters. Philip Pham. Isabel Grace Phillips. Nicholas Edward Phillips. Olivia Renee Piliacelli, cum laude. Casey Colton Plambeck. Luke James Prescott. Miranda Grace Preuss, cum laude. Alexis Ann Qualls, magna cum laude. Vincent Duke Corchagrosa. Amanda Marie Quinn, summa cum laude. Samuel Louis Rabidou, cum laude. Benjamin Scott Radicke. Rafael Ramirez. Nadia Patricia Ranieri, cum laude. Cameron Eric Rainey, cum laude. Anubhav Rayamaji, summa cum laude. Micah Kenneth Reben. Kelly Marie Reddy. Corey Joseph Reagan, cum laude. Ella Grace Recamp, cum laude. Mia Catherine Reese, summa cum laude. Shri Krishna Vamsi Regala. Carl Allen Rihanna. Amanda Rose Reitmeister, magna cum laude. Marcus Wayne Rembert, Jr. Raven Alexandria Replinger. Zachary Cavan Reeser. Jenna Marie Ravel, summa cum laude. Sophia Michelle Rhodes. Tyler Jordan Rivoli. Karen Emily Rizzo, summa cum laude. Thank you. Patrick J. Roach. Kirsten Taylor Rogers, cum laude. Sagi Ruknadini, magna cum laude. Megan Roth. Ainsley Jane Rothery, cum laude. Maria Fernanda Ruby Carmona, magna cum laude. Mattia Marie Rudolph. Mia Sarah Ruggiero. David Robert Russ, cum laude. Elliot St. Paul. Brian Salinas. Isabel Marie Sansom, cum laude. Jennifer Santos Martinez. Cavett James Shemp. Emily Page Skipper, cum laude. Hayden Schultz. David Michael Schwartz. Gianna Marie Shumica. Riley Lynn Scrivener, magna cum laude. Izana Fiseha Seyum, cum laude. Eamon Slayer. Madison Ashley Shaw. Valerie Adela Silva. Hannah Claire Simmer. Jaden Sisler. Daniel Jeffrey Skold, cum laude. Christina Madison Slack. Jared Thomas Slusher. Jake Diesel Smith. Jaron Robert Smith. Jason Thomas Smith, summa cum laude. Lily Alice Smith. Tamara Janelle Snedden. Madeline Elaine Snyder. Veronica Alexis Solis. Sarah Jane Sorrell, cum laude. Joseph Frank Sotil, magna cum laude. Grace Adelia Lou Sotis, cum laude. Addison Avery Southwick. Jade Elizabeth Spate. Robert J. Stanislawski. David Staples. Colin Patrick Stapleton, cum laude. Elise Grace Stasinski. Alexis Marie Stevens. Mackenzie Marie Stone. Alec Straw. Ilsa Jane Strelo. Anthony Robert Staven Suss, magna cum laude. Molly Marie Sweeney, summa cum laude. Isabel Marie Swift. Ethan Thomas Taylor. Hildana Workija Teklegorgis, cum laude. Abriana Rosetta Teresa, cum laude. Elnatan Mesfin Tesfa, cum laude. Brian Craig Thomas, magna cum laude. Zion Amon Thomas. Rachel Mary Tomaszewski. Alexander James Thompson, magna cum laude. Emily Torres. Anahi Jacqueline Torres Cantu. Adam Bradley Torrey, summa cum laude. Alexander S. Tozetti. Hung Chong Chern, summa cum laude. Jelani Sage, summa cum laude. Sipara Segueye. Zachary Tyler Vandegrift. Deepak Vyara. David Jenner Vaynerman, summa cum laude. Luke Ryan Vega, cum laude. Jacob Evan Vernikoff, cum laude. Brian Villegas. Olivia Ann Vincent, cum laude. Benjamin Donald Voits. Grace Elizabeth Vranikar. Grace Kendall Vroman. Nathan Waltrip. Alexander Jackson Wandry, cum laude. Nicholas Ian Weilbaker, magna cum laude. Quince Avery Weinzerl, cum laude. Hallie Mae Weiss. Sophia Josephine Weiss. Kara Grace West, summa cum laude. Olivia Mae White. Sierra White. Grace Onyx Gray Onyx White. Liesel Jane Whitener, cum laude. Corey Louise Whitlock, cum laude. Haley Morgan Wills. Carly Alyssa Wilson, summa cum laude. Cassidy Paige Wiltshire. Anna Kirsten Wynn, summa cum laude. Ella Wynn, cum laude. Chloe Noel Wisely. Ethan Riley Witzel. Hannah Yvonne Wyrick, cum laude. Sophronia Wolf. Emma Yeager, cum laude. Eyasu Chalacho Yaniso, summa cum laude. Jessica Zabala. Katie Zaborenko. Mason Robert Zaccardi. Odalis Zapata Martinez. Victoria Page Zaragoza, cum laude. Martha Lynn N. Zarwolo. Faven Zodu. Valerie Zlotnikova, cum laude. Corinne Elizabeth Hamilton. Delaney Ann Walsh. Yao Owusu Ansa. Zamzam Endris Mohammed, cum laude.
All right. Our business today is nearly concluded, but would be far from complete without some word of thanks. I would first ask the faculty of Augustana College to please stand. Students, family members, and friends, please join me in recognizing the outstanding Augustana College faculty. Thank you. All right, there's one more very important group here, and that's the parents and parental figures who provided the support and assistance so that those honored today could obtain their degrees from Augustana College. Would the parents and parental figures of the class of 2024 please stand to be recognized? All right, I'm going to give you one housekeeping tip, and then we're going to do a couple very important things, and then you'll be able to celebrate together. So the housekeeping tip, following our recessional, family members and friends will be free to leave via the same doors through which they entered. There is ample space for families to reconnect with their students just outside the main entrance of the vibrant arena. Before I turn it over to Pastor Papillo, I do need to ask all the graduates of 2024 to stand, please. And now, in a very important and symbolic moment, while you're being applauded, I need you to move your tassel from the right to the left to signify a graduate. Congratulations on a well-earned moment, and I hope this commencement was worth waiting for. And now I invite all those who are able to do so to please stand for the benediction, upon conclusion of which I call to a close this 164th commencement convocation of Augustana College. Please rise if you are able.
May you trust where your hearts and minds lead you. May you commit yourselves to continued learning. And may you see and respond when the needs of those around you are greater than your own. Through the power of divine resilience, strength, and joy, you are now called into the world. May God bless you with courage and presence and grace now and always. Blessings upon you, class of 2024.
Thank you.